Parade Ground. That'll give you an idea how long ago that was. And the next 10 planes that the Wright brothers built were actually brought to the train, and Lieutenant Foley taught them. So the first 11 pilots of not just the United States military, but all militaries, was right here in San Antonio. So now you know something you probably did not know before. Now, when Marriott built this hotel, there used to be a store here called Joske's, San Antonio's version of Macy's in New York, only on a much more scaled down version. But by the early 1970s, it had kind of fallen on hard times. And so they bought it out. Now part of it they turned into a parking garage, and the other part they incorporated into this new mall that they built. Now the River Center Mall has 110 stores in it. My favorite one is the Spurs store because I am a Spurs fan. That's what you do if you live in San Antonio. They also have 2 food courts with over 40 restaurants. And if you guys come down here later tonight, right here on the left, generally they have a gentleman that plays the guitar out here. They have live music out here in the evenings on the weekends. And if you're staying down on the river, this is a great place to come to early in the morning before the boats start operating, to just come out and have a cup of coffee and sit by the river and people watch. It's a great place. And they also have 2 movie theaters that are inside this theater, or inside this mall. One of them shows current releases, but the IMAX theater is actually in the Guinness World Book of Records. Because since they opened that theater in 1988, every day, at least once, they have shown the movie about the saga of the Alamo. And there you go, that's the one you're thinking? Oh, there you go. And since every single day since they opened, they have shown that movie. And somewhere in that long process, it became the longest running movie in the history of movies. And that's how it got in the Guinness World Book of Records.
Wow.
Now, if you guys will look up, you'll see the Yard House Restaurant. That's the only restaurant on the river that you can actually eat directly over the top of the river. If you eat outside at any of the rest of our restaurants, you'll probably be joined by one of our ducks. They're everywhere, and we like them. They work cheap. They work for Quackers. Okay, see, at least give me the fish eye. That's the stupidest joke that I tell every time. That's how I can tell if you're paying attention. You gotta at least look back and be like, really, that's why I'm not doing stand-up comedy, okay? Not that funny. I was a real good teacher, but no stand-up comedian. Now, you guys didn't notice it, but we drove by a boat that we're starting to set up the tables and stuff on it. And if you go back to Washington, bring friends with you, this will make more sense. But you can actually rent our boats, and they will contract with any restaurant on the river, and they'll take 1 to 20 people on one of these things, and it is not as expensive as you think it is. I did it a little over a year and a half ago before I ever thought about doing this job. And we had a really good time doing it, and I highly recommend it. Now, if you look to the right, you'll see a bronze statue. That's St. Anthony de Padua, right there. That was a gift to San Antonio from Portugal, and he's our patron saint because our river's named after him, and our city takes its name from the river, like most of the cities in the United States. Now, if you'll look direct, get your cameras out. That big building in front of us with the American flag, that's the Tower Life building, and we're going to drive by that in a little while. But until the mid-1950s, that was the tallest structure west of Mississippi, 450 feet tall, excluding the flagpole. And for you guys, here's your teaser. It's on it. And I'm going to tell you more about that when we drive by the building now. Right now, I want you to look to the right. Do you see the big church steeple? That belongs to St. Joseph's Cathedral. That was the first church built after the Battle of the Alamo. They opened their doors in 1868, and it was opened by German immigrants. And what's neat about it is, to this very day, on the fourth Sunday of every month, they still conduct Mass in German. And they have an all-male choir called the Liebenkrantz that actually sing all of the hymns during Mass in German as well. So the German community has a very large footprint in this part of Texas. And if you're from this area. You already know that. But when those priests got out to build those 5 missions here, our ties to the Hispanic culture and the Native American culture run to the very core of who we are as a city. And we like to say that it doesn't matter how long you've lived here, whether you've lived here a week or your whole life, and it doesn't matter what your ethnicity is. If you live here, you embrace a part of that because that's part of what makes our city so special. And our hope is that if you're visiting from out of town or from today, that while you're here, you embrace it as well, because it truly is what makes us great. Now, in 1965, San Antonio was starting to make preparations to get ready for the 1968 Hemisphere that they were hosting here. And they had contracted with a hotel to build, the company to build a hotel. In 1967, that company had went bankrupt and had not even a hotel. So another company stepped in, H.B. Zachary, and they said, we will build you a hotel and we'll get it done.